Hey, it's Steph from Happy Place to Grow. I am so glad you are back here for video 6. We are persevering through these 7 videos. This is video 6, and it's all about perseverance. That sounds a little painful. Sounds a little bit like work, but I am so glad that we are working through this information together because we know that we want our children, the children that we're working with or caring for, to be successful. These are the 7 skills that set successful kids apart from those that are struggling. And I know we want our kids to be successful and not struggle. So as parents, caregivers, teachers, grandparents, we want to be informed so we can guide and help our children. So in videos 1 through 5, we've covered several different skills, and I wanted to break these apart because there's some great information, but it's going to be a lot to take in. So I took an article that I read in April by a psychologist, Michelle Borba, and as I was so intrigued by it and wanted to bring it to you, I felt like the best way to do that would be in separate videos so that you could take in the information, kind of process through it, and then work out the skills that you want to with your kids in a way that's helpful to you. So thus the 7 videos. So thank you for joining me back. If you've not watched the other 5, please do so by checking out my channel, Happy Place to Grow. Our last video was fun. It was curiosity. So this one's going to be a little bit more of a work through because perseverance, is simply keeping on when everything points to giving up because it's easier now. I know we've all been there. As adults, we struggle with perseverance. Think about the last diet you tried to work through or exercise program, anything that takes a work through. You start off pretty well, and then as time goes on. So this video is a whole family activity that can help all of us improve. So let's talk about perseverance just for a minute. We want to help develop this in our children. Here's something that we can start with. So mistakes, problems, well, we have to alert the kids that this is part of every day. Life is not always a smooth path with no bumps in the road. I mean, there are challenges. There are simple things that we run into that we wanted to do this, but we couldn't because we wanted to go outside today, but it's raining. So just develop the sense in your house that mistakes, problems, situations, those are just part of everyday living, so that your child, when they encounter a situation that they have to work through, they have to maybe make a new plan or devise a new path, they're not going to give up because they know, I can get through this because problems happen every day. We don't want to allow our children, the children that we're working with, to turn problems and mistakes, situations, into catastrophes. They make it so big and large, like, I just can't do that. And when they say it that way, when they magnify mistakes, problems, situations, things they encounter that they have to work on, when they make it really big, it's easier for them to step away and leave the situation and exit. But what we want to do is help our children. First of all, mistakes and situations and problems are part of every day, so they're fixable. We can work through this. We can make a plan, and then we want to pull them back from magnifying or making things bigger than they already seem to be. You know, they make a mountain, as my mama used to say, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. So we're going to path them away from making things larger and magnifying. So we can do that by helping them to have a plan. We can model, for sure, little everyday situations. I was thinking about, like, just say in your household, you wanted to have cereal for breakfast. You go in the refrigerator and you get the milk out and it's sour. Instead of saying, well, I guess we're just not going to have breakfast today because we were going to have cereal, so let's just skip breakfast because we can't have it. We're going to say, can't have cereal. What else can we dream up for breakfast? So again, we're kind of making a new plan, having a plan B. You know, as teachers, I know for me as a teacher, I was always thinking of plan A, and that was my first and foremost, but then I had plan B in the back of my mind because I knew that something could go wrong or time could change. Maybe there was a fire drill or somebody got sick and threw up. You know, we always have to have a plan B. So in our house, with our families, we can have a plan B. Now, I know for our children, sometimes things they have to get done or things they have to work through can seem really big to them. So what we're going to do as parents and caregivers, we're going to help them come up with a plan of attack for their everyday life to-dos. So as they're going back to school, as they're attempting to do some daily chores, we can help them. Now, this skill definitely requires us to guide and model, help them work through, and the ultimate goal will be as we guide and model and then release, they're going to take over and work on their own plans, making their own lists and chunking their own tasks. So we're going to help them every day make a to-do list. That always helps me. And believe it or not, in the to-do list, kids are not going to want to go with this, but you're going to guide them. We're going to put the worst first, the hardest task, the task that's going to require the most time and effort at the top. Because then everything that follows it is going to get easier and easier, and they're going to gain momentum as they get through that list. And I always feel so much better when I scratch off or check off. It just feels like, wow, I'm getting things done. So make that to-do list for them and then help them. They can work with you and then help them check off the list, worst to first. Now, within their tasks, sometimes one task can feel a little overwhelming. This is the case with my oldest grandson, Riley. Sometimes his family members will say, Riley, go clean your room, and he'll go in there. And like an hour later, I'm probably exaggerating, but no kidding, a long time later, the room is still not clean. And I thought about it and reflected, and I thought, you know, when he goes in there and there's stuff everywhere, he may not know where to begin. So we can help our children as they're trying to navigate and to get through their to-do list and their tasks. We can help them chunk the tasks into littler tasks. So maybe we could say, if you're cleaning your room, Okay, the first thing that you can do is pick up your dirty clothes and put them in your dirty clothes basket. Then once that's done, why don't you pick your stuffed animals up and put them on your bed? So help them navigate. Okay, you got that done? All right, now go to your toy box. Make sure all your toys are back in the right place. So as they complete a task within the task, they're checking in with you and they're like, okay, why don't you now do this? That way they're doing it and they're navigating through it and they're getting it done and they're persevering and you're guiding them. Yeah, so we're going to help them as adults, as caregivers, as teachers to minimize the stress of everyday struggles by, first of all, this is part of life. And we can have a plan A, but we can also have a plan B. Hey, it might be even fun to figure out what plan B is going to be. We're going to help them make a to-do list, worst first, and then within their list, we're going to help them chunk or even put one task into manageable little mini tasks. And in this way, we're hoping and we're believing and trusting that as our children work through everyday life to-dos, problems and mistakes, that eventually they're going to make their own lists and they're going to be able to, in their own little mind, as they go into their room soon, they're going to be able to kind of just work things out on their own, because we want them to be independent, solving problems, and we're there as caregivers, teachers, grandparents, parents, family members. We're there to support and to help and to guide and to love. And I know, again, as I say, this can work for you. It can work for me as we're making our lists as adults too. So make it a family journey. Well, I don't think perseverance was that bad. Do you? It was pretty good information. All right, we're going to close up this video and I am going to invite you to the last video, which I think is going to close up this series in a very fun and positive way, because the name of the last skill is optimism. Pass it on. We definitely all need some optimism. That's going to be video number 7. All right, don't forget to join me back here and also share this video and this video series with people you know that this can help their children and their families. All right, until our next time together, and I'm looking forward to us meeting back again. All right, as always, have a good one.